Hey everybody, how's it going? rebelsatcloudnine here. I'm going to be doing videos, build of Polar Light's new NX-01 Enterprise Refit. And really excited to get started on building this one. So I'm going to show you guys the kit. I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do. And yeah, I'll even show you the original one. This is 1/1000 scale. And I actually have the first one, the original one that they did. Back in, I think, 2005 is when they first did it. And so this is the NX-01 is from the Enterprise series. And the difference with this refit one is they added in the lower hull here. It doesn't have this. And it connects down to here more. In the back they have an actual picture of the kit. Polar Lights, I think, are a pretty good company. They do kind of annoy me, though. They do some weird stuff. And one of the things that they do that actually really kind of annoys me is they make these great kits, but then they're so hard to find. And this was one I had in my hands a couple of months ago. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Enterprise. And then I saw a bunch of other people building it, and I went, darn, I should have bought it. Started searching on the internet, and it would have cost me like $50 to get one, $50 to $60, if they weren't sold out. That's with shipping. And turns out my brother, my younger brother, got it for me as a gift. So I'm super excited to add this one to my collection. The box is a little stiff, but let's see what we get on the inside here. Now, let me put this away here. Here's the hull. The saucer sections, they come in two parts. It's a snap kit. It's got really nice details on it. It's pretty much identical to the original one that I built years ago. The difference is there's a kind of a V-shaped bridge right here, and this has been removed because there's a reactor in the middle here. It's kind of a teardrop shape, and that's been moved onto the lower hull section. So they got rid of that. I thought it was still on there, but yeah, obviously they got rid of it. The detail is nice on it. There's all the little windows are on there. It's got these big recessed panel lines to make out each section, and they look good. One of the things I like that Polar Lights does, I want to show you guys this first, is they label where the parts are supposed to go. So piece number 2 fits in here. 101 they fit here. Does not mean it fit on here. The lower saucer section actually has, more of those. So it's just easier to manage and find out where they go. And the lower hull is a bit different than the original one. It has this giant hole here. This is the shuttle bay, and there's a giant hole here, and this peg is where the neck goes. They also changed the stand on it. It used to come with a really nice stand, and they changed it. There's a hole right here. You can't see it on the camera. You can see it on the mold. This is where a stand used to be, and then these two holes right here, they used to be the for the pegs. It was on like a tripod. I'll show you guys that in a second. I kind of like the tripod more than this giant hole in here, just because the hole kind of looks kind of big. But you're gonna have it on a stand anyway, so really, who cares? You can build this as a original version or the refit version, which is also really cool. Okay, next is sorry about the cough, guys. I've been getting over a nice bug, and it's finally subsiding, but I still got a bit of a cough going. This is the stand. I'm not using this one. I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do. So I'm keeping it in the box, in the bag rather, It's basically just a bowl. You get this metal rod here, and these are two joints. You put this on the end of the rod, and then it fits into a ball joint so you can pivot the starship, which I like. I think that's pretty cool. Um, yeah, not too much to it. It's kind of a basic stand. Nice thing is you can buy those stands separately if you really want to, for another project. These are the clear parts. I might coat these in future. I don't know. I probably should, but I might not have to. They're pretty basic. I'm keeping them in the bag for now, till I need them. Kind of an odd thing is right here are three little bits of plastic, and there's nothing to them, because I believe that this part right here, I don't know what was here, because these are removed for the new Blizzard collectors here, and then there's this weird piece right here. I don't even know what it is, but the clear parts are pretty basic, but they're nice. They're not really transparent. Now these are the new pieces to the kit. This is the lower hull section. It's pretty nice. It's got a nice look to it, nice angles. This is the top part of the hull here. Here's this is the bottom. So this is where the display stand goes into the peg right there. This is that reactor I was talking about. This is for the original version, not the refit. Here's the deflector dish here, and these two go on the Blizzard collectors, and this one is for the deflector dish here. They look really nice. They're nice and clean. They do have little bits of plastic that kind of need to be cleaned up, but they're not bad. And this is the other new one. Here's the other half of the lower hull. These are the pylons. They fit into here. Here's the reactor. It goes on top of here. The deflector dish here. These are just little components. These are kind of cool that they changed this. These go on the outside of either engine of the warp engines. So the inside is still transparent, blue colored. So those are the new parts. And these are the old parts. As far as I remember, they haven't changed at all. They look really familiar to me. Like this is just little bits and parts. The cool thing in here is it has this two-pronged, I don't know what exactly to call that, but it fits into the radar dish here, or not radar, deflector dish, sorry. Whoops, and I dropped it. Of course I did. It fits inside of here, and this more square one in the top is for the NX-02 Columbia. So I'd really like to buy another one of these kits and build a Columbia. That was an option you had in the first one as well. These are parts of the hull, the saucer rather. These fit in between, and you'll see those. They're nice. They've got little windows in them, so if you wanted to light them up, you need like a really good pin vise to do that, and a really steady hand, because they're kind of, I can't really describe it, but if you have one and you're lighting it up, it'll take a bit of work. But if you're going through all the work to light it up, I'm assuming you're more advanced modeler and you'll be able to handle that type of thing. And then here's just the warp engines. There's two of them here, and really not much to them. They're, same screw twice, and they've got really nice little details on them. You get this reply card, which I would have to pay for to ship because I'm in Canada. Round 2 models have bought up a bunch of companies lately, and this is a nice little booklet that is included with all the kits you can buy. There's quite a few in there that I really want that are really cool. Here's the instructions, and the instructions are a little kind of one of the things I don't like about Polar Lights, because I've built a couple of them, and sometimes you get these huge like maps to build, and they're not like in sections, so like I can't like here for step 2, like if I wanted to fold it smaller, here's the fold line, and it's kind of, they're just a little fussy. You get used to it, you work around it. It's no big deal. Here's step 1, it's the lower hull section. Step 2, they're pretty straightforward. The one thing that's weird is here, to tell you how to build the lower hull, they tell you how to build the upper hull and the main saucer. They tell you how to build the lower saucer, and how to build the back impulse engines, how to build all the warp engines, and then the final assembly is mounting the engines to the Enterprise and then to the display stand. But I just think it's weird that it's like they skipped a step of how to put the lower hull to the saucer. I mean, it's easy to figure out, obviously, but it's just kind of weird, that they didn't put it on there. You get this great technical information here about the Enterprise decal placement. It has the colors listed here in the top corner. They're mostly testers. The main color they tell you to paint it as, though, is JN Gray from Tamiya. And I actually have one here. This is what I use to paint my Zero. So I'm going to tilt this light up a little more there. They say it lightens slightly. And I heard one other modeler who's building this, and he said it was to make like a transition between the original series, because that's what this one is. This is before the original Captain Kirk one. And that makes sense to me, but it's just kind of weird that that would be how they tell you to paint it when that's not what the box looks like. But it makes sense to the one on the back of the box, which was just a gray color. One of the last things, actually it is the last thing in the box. Here's the decals for it, and they're pretty nice. They're really nice register. Excuse me. However, I've played with Polar Lights decals before, and I didn't have fun with them. I have a few Polar Lights kits. I have the 1/350th scale Enterprise refit. I have this exact same NX-01 in 350 scale, as well as 1/1000. And when I did it in when I did it in 350 scale, the decals were like really brittle and plasticky, and they just kind of cracked when you put them on the model, and especially on like a round surface. And so I'm a little worried about the decals being like that same thing again. They probably won't be, but it's kind of bugging me that they might. So I'm gonna keep my eyes on these and see how they react. They'll probably be just fine. It's probably nothing to even worry about. But then again, you never know with this stuff. So, yeah, this is the last thing I'll show you. This is a different view of the Enterprise. It's kind of from the bottom looking up. Shows you the different engine cover here that I was telling you about. And, yeah, here's that gray-green color. It actually still looks silver-ish on here. I thought this was the plastic. Looks good though. So I'm going to show you guys a bit of the differences between the two. I'm going to just put these pieces back here. I think I'll keep that up. Here we go. So here's the new one. Here's the original one. This is, like I said, from when it first came out in this scale. I bought this one. And this is how I painted it. This is the plastic color here. It's kind of this nice gray. And I covered it in green tape, and I cut out all these sections based on the box art. And I had Humbrol silver, and I added, I think, black to it and painted this on here. And I really love the color and how it turned out and everything. And I'm not going to do that for this one. I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to paint it. What I'm actually going to do is what I did on my 350 scale. I haven't finished that one. It's actually right underneath my desk here because I want to light it, but I don't have a solder gun for it. The solder guns that I use for work are for something totally different, and I need a finer tipped one. So how I'm going to paint it is the same way I painted the 350 one. Is I'm going to use Tamiya TS38 gunmetal. It's an excellent color. I love the color of this stuff, especially on that huge model. It looks fantastic. And then I'm going to paint highlights. Like there's all these little squares and things and little raised bits, and I'm just going to paint them this steel color. It's a good color from testers. I really like it. And so that's how I'm going to do it. It's not going to be too fancy. It's just going to be, kind of a quick, simpler project that I can just, I just want to have fun with this one. I'm not going to, buy all the Aztec decals and or masks for it and all that stuff. So that's how I'm going to do. That's how I'm going to paint this guy. And the stand that came with this one is right here. I love it. It's this silhouette of the Enterprise logo, and it has these 3 pegs. This one broke. I think I still might have it somewhere. But somehow it still balances nicely on just the 2. And so you'd put them on here. And I just like the Enterprise silhouette. I know why they have the other display stand in there, because it's more universal, and they just put it in the kit. But what I'm going to do, since I have this piece, is I didn't glue these down, which is a good thing. I'm going to take this and flip it upside down and push it into some plasticine, probably about like that thick, and then make a resin casting of it. And I'll drill a hole, somewhere in here, and put that metal stand in it, and cut the metal so it's kind of about this height, and paint it, black or even the gunmetal color again. And so I'll have this one sitting on the shelf, and then I'll have the other one just, a little bit higher. I think that'll look really cool. And that's what I'm going to do, have the Enterprise like that. And like I said, I'd love to buy 3 more of these kits. I want the Columbia, which I said has the square deflector in the front. I'd like to build the ISS Enterprise. That's from the Mirror Universe. It's got these beautiful yellow kind of claws that come on the side of the saucer. And one I've always just thought of from a long time ago, and I'd kind of really like to do it, is to take the engines, and there's a line right here. I'd like to cut them off here and flip these upside down so that it looked like this kind of, and the engines are lower, as kind of a Miranda class starship. Early Miranda class, what they used to look like. That's like the Reliant from the Wrath of Khan. But yeah, that's about it. I'm not gonna light this guy up. I have another one of these polar light kits that I am going to light up, and I'll show you guys that. But for this one, I just want to have fun and just build it the way I want to. So, hope you enjoy this. This is a really cool model, and let's get started on this little snap kit, eh?